is Anupreet Kaur, and today I've been asked to share my experience regarding both my bachelor's as well as my master's with you guys. Um, Before getting into the details of my degree, I'll give you a little bit of background on myself. Um, as far as academics is considered, I would say I have always been above average academically. I wouldn't necessarily call myself a genius, but I feel I've done well enough. Um, and that brings me to the point of me choosing humanities. I chose humanities not out of a compulsion, as it is in a lot of circumstances, but as a willing choice. जब मैं 11th-12th में थी मुझे तभी से पता था कि मुझे ह्यूमैनिटीज़ ही परस्यू करनी है एंड इसलिए मैंने अपनी 11th-12th में ह्यूमैनिटीज़ ही चूज़ किया था एंड उसमें भी पॉलिटिकल साइंस वाज ऑलवेज समथिंग दैट आई फाउंड रियली इंटरेस्टिंग and I knew that I would want to pursue this further. So I chose political science as one of my subjects in my board classes. And as it would be, I gave my boards. My result came according to my result. Wherever I fell into the DU cutoff list, I ended up doing BA Political Science Honours from Shri Venkateshwar College, also known as Venki, in Delhi University. Now, I was very happy that I got to do BA Political Science Honours. That was always my goal. I wanted to pursue political science. As far as Venki is considered, obviously it wasn't one of my top choices. I wanted to do BA Political Science Honours from either LSR or Hindu, but as my cutoff would have it, I ended up at Venki. Now, having said that, I would say my experience was nothing less. I believe DU is DU. The very idea that you get to attend DU, coming from a small town, I belong to Jammu, the fact that I was able to get into DU and pursue my goals and pursue my dreams was more than anything else for me. That too in the field that I had both the interest as well as the aptitude in. I believe that you should always pursue a course that you have the interest and aptitude in. Which brings me to my first hack, I would say, a little bit of suggestion that I could give somebody who's looking at this video for suggestions is that if you're ever put in a situation where आपको ऐसा लगता है कि आपको कॉलेज के नाम पे मिल रहा है बट आपको वहाँ अपना कोर्स नहीं मिल रहा है और आपको एक जगह अपना कोर्स मिल रहा है बट कॉलेज का ज़्यादा नाम नहीं है आई एम वन ऑफ दोज पीपल हु विल ऑलवेज टेल यू टू परस्यू द कोर्स बिकॉज द कोर्स इज़ वॉट विल मैटर at the end of the day. You might forget your college after a few years. People won't ask you what college you belong to, but the skills, your course, what you learn will eventually determine your employment as well as whatever you will do for the rest of your life. So that is why I chose to do BA Political Science Honours, because I knew that I wanted to pursue political science. I had an interest in it and I wanted to make a career out of it. Now, as far as the political science department of Venki is considered, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed my time there. There were a lot of really interesting teachers. There were an array of subjects that we got to choose from, especially in the later years when you get the choice of choosing subjects or your optionals. And I think overall the entire experience of DU was amazing. I wouldn't trade my college experience for anything. I had the time of my life. I ended up joining a society in Venki, the Hindi Dramatic Society called Anubhuti. It was one of the best times of my life. We ended up winning a lot of prizes that year in the entire DU theatre circuit, and it will always be one of the most memorable times of my life. And I would say to anybody who's getting an opportunity to even get into DU, to get into whatever college that they can get into, please do it. Please pursue. And I will always tell you to widen your horizons, to not just be stuck to your books. I would say you should pursue some other activity as well if you can manage both well. I wouldn't say do it at the expense of your education, but try your best to hone as many skills as you can during those 3 years. I tried my best and I still think I missed out on a lot of other opportunities that I could have. Apart from that, I would say in my final year, I decided that I wanted to pursue my education and not go for an employment or take a gap or pursue any other idea. I wanted to pursue my academics further. I wanted to get another degree. Having said that, I did sit in the final year in a placement cell, campus placement, and I ended up getting placed at NIIT Limited, but I did not take that opportunity. But I learned a lot from that experience, and that is again another one of my suggestions, that you should try to experience whatever you can. If you are a multitasker, it would be easier for you. Apart from that, I would say in the final year, when I finally decided that I wanted to pursue a master's degree, I had finally never heard of JNU. Coming from a small town, never heard of JNU. I'd heard of DU because that was the goal of every humanities student after their masters. After their bachelor. When they were in school, that was their main goal. So I had heard of DU, but I hadn't heard of JNU. So when I was in my final year, I saw my immediate seniors applying to JNU. I saw my batchmates in their final year preparing for JNU entrances, and that's when I did a little dig. I digged a little deep, and I found out about JNU and what it stood for. And I was mesmerized, and I decided that that would be my top priority. Following the list on JNU was DU. DU was another one of my top priorities for masters, and other colleges like TIS, Christ, Ambedkar, they all followed suit after that. So as far as the entrances is considered, फाइनल ईयर में मैंने सबसे पहले टिस हैदराबाद का एंट्रेंस दिया था. उनके पास MA पॉलिटिकल साइंस नहीं था, ना ही MA IR था, विच रिमाइंड्स मी दैट जब मैं फाइनल ईयर में थी अपनी DU के, मुझे IR में बहुत इंटरेस्ट डेवलप हुआ था. मेरा एक सब्जेक्ट था IR, एंड मैंने रियलाइज़ किया था कि अब मैं स्पेशलाइजेशन करना चाहती हूँ इस सब्जेक्ट में, तो मैं अपनी MA IR में करना चाहूँगी. अगर मुझे नहीं मिली तो मैं पॉल साइंस में करने में भी बहुत खुश थी. मगर जब टिस हैदराबाद की बात आती है तो, और बॉम्बे, वहाँ पे MA IR भी नहीं था और पॉल साइंस भी नहीं था, तो मैंने MA पब्लिक पॉलिसी के लिए अप्लाई किया था. मैंने एंट्रेंस क्लियर कर लिया था, बट आई नेवर वेंट फॉर द इंटरव्यू स्टेज. After that, I gave my entrance for Christ Bangalore in MA IR, and I was able to clear that thankfully as well. But I did not pursue that either because अभी भी JNU was my goal. मेरा ड्रीम JNU ही था. वापस आके जब JNU का एंट्रेंस का वक्त आया, तब मैंने JNU में 2 एंट्रेंसेस दिए थे. JNU के MA पॉल साइंस का एंट्रेंस, जो कि उनके SSS स्कूल में फॉल करता है, स्कूल ऑफ सोशल साइंसेज, और MA पॉलिटिक्स विद स्पेशलाइजेशन इन IR, MA IR जिसे कॉमनली कहते हैं, जो उनके SIS स्कूल में फॉल करता है, स्कूल ऑफ इंटरनेशनल स्टडीज़. दोनों का एंट्रेंस दिया था मैंने. Also a little bit of a difference that existed during my time. I graduated my bachelor's in 2018. 2018 was when I joined JNU. So at that time we did not have JNU EEE or JNU EE, sorry, and we did not have the online exam, the objective format of the exam. We had a subjective exam, we had a physical exam that we had to write, and that is why I wouldn't be the best candidate to give anybody entrance exam tips right now, because I had an altogether different format जिसमें मैंने entrance दिया था JNU का. Having said that, मैंने MA पॉल साइंस का एंट्रेंस दिया, मेरा वो क्लियर नहीं हो पाया, और मेरा MA IR का एंट्रेंस क्लियर हुआ, और मैं हमेशा से चाहती भी वही थी. तो I was in the end very happy that I was able to clear the entrance for MA IR, and at that time it was a big deal because very few people could clear it, and a lot of people around me who gave the exams, who I still do consider much more intelligent me, were not able to clear the entrance. And I don't know, I thought it was surreal. I found myself very lucky. I did not believe it for a long period of time that मेरा entrance clear हो गया था. And बस उसके बाद I joined JNU. Now as far as JNU is considered, I know it has been in news a lot, but I would keep it strictly academic, and I would say that it deserves the hype that it gets for its academics. The experience that I had in JNU was far more superior than the one I had in DU. maybe because I had matured, circumstances had changed, I don't know. But academically, it was more invigorating. I learnt more. I just in larger, my critical skills were honed more. There was there was no there was nothing stopping you from learning. Knowledge was all around. You were actively encouraged to learn from experiences, from people's experiences, from your own experiences, from actual academic knowledge. um, and I mean, it was a varied experience. I had a class of 150-ish kids. That's a huge class, and there were people from all walks of life. There were people from various countries as well, and I would say it was one of the most surreal experiences. If I could, I would do it again. And if you are considering going to JNU, do not doubt it for 1 second just because of what you hear in the news. What you hear in the news is an active choice that people choose to make, and you can always choose to not make that choice. And having said that, I would say the ambience of JNU is not at all what it seems to be. I had heard a lot of stories before going to JNU myself. People tried to scare me out of it, but I would say it was anything but scary. I felt very accommodated, very comfortable, one of the most comfortable places to be in. And the campus is beautiful. It is a huge campus and it's full of greenery. And the professors are amazing, especially in your second year in MA when you get a choice to choose your own optionals. You can choose varied concepts from different, especially when IR, आप different regions के बारे में specialize कर सकते हो, उस subject में उनके बारे में पढ़ सकते हो. There are professors there who have years and years and years of experience and knowledge, published people who are teaching you. So I would always say that it is a huge learning experience. Never shy away from it. और भी बहुत एक्सपीरियंसेस हैं. अगर आप कैंपस में रहते हैं, आप और भी बहुत चीज़ें एक्सपीरियंस कर सकते हैं, एन्जॉय कर सकते हैं अपने आप को. नॉट एवरीथिंग इज़ ग्रिम एंड सैड एंड वायलेंट एज it is shown. And I would always say that there is a reason that it deserves to be the best university in our country, especially when it comes to humanities. And yeah, that's about it. I would say that I have been very lucky in my life that I've been able to do my bachelor's in DO and my master's in JNU. And मेरे जैसे और भी बहुत लोग हैं, मैं इकलौती नहीं हूँ. बहुत लोग हैं जो मेरे जैसे हैं, मुझसे बहुत बेटर लोग भी हैं जिन्होंने उससे भी ज़्यादा अचीव किया होगा. एंड मैं यही कहना चाहूँगी कि इन दी एंड आई विल जस्ट से दैट इफ़ गिवन द चॉइस, you should not shy away from taking it, and try your best. I'm sure you'll be able to achieve it. It's not as hard as it seems. There were people in my class a lot of engineers were in my class, a lot of people from engineering backgrounds who decided to finally pursue humanities because it was their interest, and there's nothing wrong in that. It's never too late. You don't need to have your life planned out. आप कभी भी decide कर सकते हैं आपको अगर shift करना है अपना stream. And I feel like the entrance is so generalist that you will be able to clear it even if you do not have a background in that subject. And as far as studying in JNU from a non-arts background is considered, तो वो भी बहुत आसान है. मुझे नहीं लगता कि बहुत मुश्किल है. अगर आपके अंदर capacity है, capability है to understand humanities के concepts, understand theories, I don't think it would be very hard for you to pursue even if you come from a non-humanities or a social science background. And as far as my experience goes, I would rate it a 10 on 10 as far as JNU is considered. DU, I would rate it a little bit less than 10, I don't know, 9.5 on 10. But it is very subjective to everybody. I can only count my blessings. I would not say that, I would not like to sound ungrateful, which I'm not. So that's about it. I think that's about it. Thank you guys.